Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection video. What I have today is a somewhat classic. It's called Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA. Okay, it's kind of an extra IPA slash double IPA slash imperial IPA. There's a lot of synonymous terms and there's not really necessarily a hard line. There is through the Beer Judge Certification Program, the BJCP, between a regular IPA and a double IPA, and it is pretty agreed upon that double IPAs and imperial IPAs are pretty much the same thing. But, you know, the American way of brewing beer is like, let's add more hops, let's add more alcohol and move it all the way up. So, and Sierra Nevada is still craft beer. You may be more familiar with Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is a classic, phenomenal regular pale ale, which is a little bit lower strength alcohol, a little lower amount of bitterness, as well as hop flavor and aroma. This one, again, it's at Chico, California. Sierra Nevada is located at 7.2% alcohol. I may do I was thinking about doing a beer face-off video, which those are kind of, at the filming of this also, is kind of new for me. I've done about 2 of them. I may do this against Elysian or something like that. I try to keep the beers somewhat very close to each other so it's not apples and oranges. But there is a lot of leeway with alcoholic strength and things on these particular brands. But this one, again, is a extra or double IPA, 7.2%, Torpedo Extra IPA, Chico, California, Mills River, North Carolina, because there is a brewery outside. I think one of you, my Facebook friends, lives outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and said that there's a Sierra Nevada there, which is great. All right, guys, so I'm going to open this bad boy. Got my typical glass you see me use a lot of times here from a brewery out here on Long Island. Okay. Let's crack this bad boy open. All right. And let's pour it in. Now, as I've always said, if you watched a few videos of mine, I pour some of my beers a little more aggressively these days, so I'm expecting to get a lot more head, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Especially for the purpose of evaluating these beers as far as getting the aromatics. So what am I looking at here? We got a nice white to a light tan head. I got a few inches. Of course, we usually like to only have an inch or 2 if you were getting it at your local craft brewery. This one, kind of a medium to dark gold color, very clear. It almost looks like the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, except maybe a little more on a gold color instead of being, that's usually more of like a dark straw to a light gold color, but a very sparkling clear, and not even enucleation points from my glass, which sometimes I always have clean glasses, whether they're beer clean, hand washed, neurotic clean, not always the case, but this is looking actually pretty nice so far. Okay, so let's take a sniff of the aroma. What I get here, I get a little bit of like a peach, stone fruit kind of thing, maybe a little pineapple, tropical fruit kind of aroma. Little pine, not much though. Because I'm assuming they're probably using some Pacific Northwest hops. Kind of dank a little bit, but very nice. On the malt, kind of that bread crusty, light toast kind of aroma. It's interesting. I was expecting to get a little bit more of a stronger pine and citrus, and I'm getting kind of like a peachy pineapple kind of aroma, at least my perception. Yours may be different, and if it is, feel free to chime in, because like what I'm perceiving isn't necessarily the rule to what you'll perceive, okay? But this is what I'm getting. Okay, if there's any pine here, it's very subtle. I almost get like this peachy pineapple kind of aroma, more fruity tropical fruit. Okay, and again, as I take longer sniffs, maybe there is a little bit more pine than initially was perceiving. Okay, but very nice though. Okay, so cheers, guys. Let's take a swig of this. Again, similar. Again, I think I get a little more pine on the flavor. Subtle pine. Not as much as I think as the regular pale ale. Little pine. But I get this like tropical fruit, peach, pineapple thing on my taste buds. Medium carbonation, medium to moderately bodied beer. I'm not getting warmth, alcoholic warmth on this, but I am getting a little bit of a pretty good malt backbone here, like crust, bread crust, graham cracker kind of malt, which is great because I like that in my IPAs. I love the hops, flavor, aroma, but I always like to get a little bit of a malt backbone to it, more like a West Coast IPA, which is kind of what this seems to be aligning with a little bit. Just want to take a sniff of that aroma again, make sure. Yeah, I still get, like, I perceive there is definitely pine. Okay, I don't know if I got that initially, but there is a little bit of pine, but there is some fruitiness to it. So whether it's like a little bit of a peach, pineapple, fruitiness to it, maybe even subtle grapefruit, citrus, but it's not as, their Sierra Nevada Pale Ale has a lot more, I think, domination of citrus, and I know they use exclusively Cascade in that, so there's definitely more grapefruit in that and citrus, not this one. Very nice though. Even on the aftertaste, you're kind of left with the malt. Maybe a subtle bitterness. There is definitely a pronounced bitterness here. But what really appeals to me about this is that it's just not a hop bomb. It has that maltiness to it that you want to balance out some of that bitterness, the perceived bitterness at least. I think I mentioned I really don't get any alcoholic warmth here, and it's 7.2. For me, it's always like that 7.5 to 8% range that I usually get it. Little dank. So kind of the fruit, I guess, is giving me a little bit of that dank pineapple, peach, like aged, like that peach, like over ripened on your counter a little bit. You kind of cut into it. Again, the pine is not as strong as I get on a lot of other West Coast IPAs, as well as the Sierra Nevada. Let me look at the bottle. Yeah, they do have pine on here, tropical fruit, which is what I'm definitely getting. There is some subtle pine, no doubt. So I guess I'm not too far off here. It was packaged on, by the way, January, March 24th. I'm doing this in the beginning of May of 23. So pretty fresh, which I would like to think so. 7.2, I think I told you guys. So again, kind of little citrus, a little grapefruit, but not as much as Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. A little more malt backbone than that, because you can even tell from the color of it. I get a pineapple peach kind of tropical fruit aroma, which is probably what they're showing on here. Very good, guys. I gotta say, this is probably a good A minus at the very worst. I can see why this has been around for a little bit. Not as long as the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale has been out since like, I want to say 82. This one's not as old as that as far as the brand or SKU under Sierra Nevada, but still a tremendous beer. I would hold this up to a lot of double IPAs that I've had recently, other than maybe some of my local guys that brew beer here. And I say guys because I know some of the brewers, or at least the owners, and they're men. But they, very solid beer here. Pairing wise with this, because of the malt, I mean, IPAs classically will go with blue cheese. Because of the malt backbone, you could probably go a little stronger blue cheese. There's enough caramelization in, say, chicken and light roasted beef, or just a regular steak would be fine. Some salads that you want a little bit of that citrus tropical fruit hit, like a Cobb salad, even a Caesar salad that you want to maybe like you'd finish with a little bit of a lemon. Not that this has lemon notes, but because of the grapefruit, citrus, I think that would go very well with this. Cheese-wise, also in addition to the blue cheese, your Manchego has some earthiness to it. This wouldn't go as well as maybe some, English bitters and things like that have a little more earthiness, herbal, woodsy character for some of those. But again, you could say, Scott, I don't care. I'm just drinking it with whatever, a burger. This would be fine too. So anyway, guys, Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA, very good double IPA, readily available. Listen, there's wiggle room. Some of your Equilibrium makes some great IPAs. Hills Farmstead. I mean, if I would have to compare, those would probably be like A pluses, some of those beers. I have this, in that low A range. But this is readily available. You can pick this up at most grocery stores, local beer shops. You can't always get Hills Farmstead and Equilibrium every single day. So I'd have no qualms of people picking this up or serving this to me at a local barbecue and do that. So that's why I grade my beers the way they are. Like sometimes it's just, if I stack this against some high-end $25 a 4-pack beer, it may struggle a little bit. But because it's so readily available, you can pick it up. You're picking up your Sunday morning groceries for the week. You can get this beer. So anyway, guys, I would recommend the Torpedo IPA for as far as a double IPA. And pretty much that's it. All right, so till the next video, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.